Hello everyone. Here I would like to explain a poem and the questions followed by the poem. This poem is taken from one of the XAT papers. So it is a poem that has actually appeared in the XAT exam. XAT is an important exam which you need to take in order to crack it so that you get admission to the XLRI college, one of the top colleges in India, one of the top B schools in India. So a recent trend is that it often asks questions on poems. Now, and then somehow people are afraid of facing poems because they hardly read poetry. Very few people read good poetry. Now, here, probably after watching this video, you would like to read poetry. So that could be the advantage of watching this video, and you will find yourself bold enough to tackle the questions on poems. And you never know, even in the CAT exam, also they may ask questions on poems. Now, this is a very short poem followed by just two questions. And remember, if you read this poem, you can pause this video, you can read the poem by yourself, and you can try the two questions. Here, there is question number one, and this is question number two. So, you can try these two questions by yourself before you watch the video. Now, and I want you to watch this video till the end. You will really learn about poetry. One of the characteristics of poems is that they often have metaphors. Now, metaphor is a figure of speech. Now, I will not go into the details of what metaphor is. I would like to simply say that metaphors are symbols. So often in poems you will find metaphors or symbols. Now here, this particular short poem, though it appears difficult, but if you try to decode the metaphors, then you'll be able to understand it better. Now here there are two metaphors or symbols used in this poem. One is fire and the other one is ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Right? So here, the author says the world will end. The author says some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So here there are two, what you can say, metaphors, fire and ice, and the author says the world will end. Some people say the world will end in fire, some people say the world will end in ice. Now, the moment you come across such symbols, or what you can say, objects or metaphors, you should immediately ask the question that what does these metaphors stand for? What are their symbolic meanings? And the poem itself will give you vital clues. Just here, look at here, there is a word desire and fire. So what we can say, that fire is a symbol of desire. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold who those who favor fire. So fire here is a symbol of desire. So you have, then you can imagine. So what desires do I have? So I want to get into a good B school. That is what is the current desire that I have. That is my wish, right? The best B school because I want the placement, because I want a lot of money, right? So desire for money, desire for more and more money, desire for, let's say, power. Politicians have strong desire for power. So desire for something. So then you will get. See, desire is one of the vikaras. So you know that if you know Indian spirituality, then you know that there are shad according to Indian or Hindu spirituality. You will get the moksha when you will get nirvana, or when you will get the salvation, when you will get the mukti, freedom. Okay, when you will get rid of the shad six vikaras: kama, krodha, moha, maya, lobe, desire, lobe, desire, then you will immediately get the word greed. Greed, desire to achieve more. So you get a package of 20 lakhs, and that will not be enough. After some years you will feel that, okay, I need to get promotion, I need to get more money. So that particular desire or greed is not is somewhat not ending, it goes on. And fire is that burning desire, greed that you would like to have. Now, after that, there is but. Whether it is a passage or poem, these words are always important. Which words? Words such as rather, but, yet, however, still, nevertheless. Okay, still means nevertheless or nonetheless. On the other hand, on the other hand, on the contrary. Okay, so these words are often used when the author wants to emphasize on something. So here we really understand here that there is a but, which means that this poem is not simply about fire or desire or greed. It is also about something else, and something else, which means it must be also about ice. So these lines should tell me something about ice. What does ice stand for? That is a question, and then you get the word hate here. So if it had to perish twice, now look at this imagination. So the world ends, or the world perishes or destroys once is not enough. The world should end twice or perish twice. So that's an imagination. So often poets imagine something which is unreal, and they do it. Very very quickly. They don't really worry about. They take the highest form of freedom when it comes to construct something that you and me, common people, cannot even construct that, right? Even if really if there is even if you have a missile in your hand, you will not be able to destroy the world twice, right? You will be able to destroy maybe something only once. So here the poet imagines. So that's a bit a destructive imagination. That if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. So the world will not only end in greed or desire, it will end in hate as well. And to know that for destruction, ice is also great, which means ice is also great, which means hate is also great. So ice is here symbol of hate. And would suffice. Suffice means it will be enough. Suffice means enough. So now what is the poet? What is this poem about? The poem is about these things, two things. One is desire, greed, and hate. It looks like the author looks at them enemies of the world, because the world will end in greed, desire. Okay, but the world can also end in hate. And it had to perish twice. It has to perish twice. Obviously the author is not saying that things can destroy twice. Things can destroy twice. It wants to emphasize that hate is equally dangerous. Let's say that today the world ends in let's say greed, and let's say it's again created. It is again, it takes, let's say the world creates again, then the world can destroy again if there is a lot of hate in the world. It has the same destructive potential. So hate has the same destructive potential as the greed or desire has, and it can end the world, or both of them can end the world. Now this is what the poem is. Now obviously when you will read the poem in the exam, you will not have this much time obviously to understand it, and I have taken almost now 7-8 minutes to make you understand, and you will be able to, and you should be able to solve this question. Actually read the poem and solve the question just in 2-3 minutes. But you should watch such videos very carefully, and you should watch these videos many times, so that what happens is you understand the thought process. You understand a lot of various things. I have just talked about various vikaras, and then you can relate. And that often poems have such full of emotions and vikaras, and then somehow you will be able to relate what I have discussed now to what you are going to read in the exam. And you should really read a lot of poems They are really wonderful. So they will improve your overall understanding of life in general. So, which of the following statements will the poet agree with the most? Now, once you get an idea that the passage is about desire, sorry, the poem is about desire and hate, then it's very clear that let's look at the option A. Desire overpowers hatred to control humans. Now, first of all, forget desire and hatred, though both of them I have mentioned here. Is the passage about control humans? Desire and hate, they are related here. The author to the destruction. So the scope of this particular what you can say poem, or the scope of desire and hate is up to destruction. So control humans, irrelevant, eliminated. Greed can destroy one's world. Yes, this should be the answer. Greed, desire can destroy. The world will end in fire. This is correct. Ambition is more powerful. Nothing about ambition is discussed. Now, ambition can be a form of desire, and envy obviously means jealousy, hate. However, it is not said that this fire is more powerful than ice. Similarly, desire overpowers hatred. Both this option A and C are saying that fire is more powerful than ice. No, nothing of this sort is discussed. Both desire and hate can create self doubt. So, desire creates doubt about oneself. It is not discussed. D is eliminated. Hatred destroys what desire cannot. It is not discussed either. That desire cannot destroy something, and that something will be destroyed by hatred. This is not said in the poem. So, option E is eliminated. So, look at here. See, if you look at, even if you read the options, all the options are comparisons between desire and hatred. And except B, all other options are saying that something is less than other thing. Desire is less than other thing, or hatred is less than other thing. So there is some sort of comparison in which it is written that one thing is more than the other, and that particular imbalance is not even hinted in the poem. So option B is the answer of question number 1. Now let us go to question number 2, which is the most unsuitable title of the poem. This is what is the question. We need to read the question very, very carefully. Unsuitable title is what is the question. Alright, now let us discuss this question number 2. As I have told you that which is the most unsuitable title is what is the question. And you know that the poem is about fire, ice, or desire and hate, how they destroy the world. So A is suitable title. Love and detest. Detest is hate. Now here you need to have a good vocabulary. For hate, there are different synonyms. Envy is the synonym. Detest is the synonym. So you should know these words and synonym. Overall, you need to have good vocabulary. Love and detest, a tale of destruction. Correct. Tale means story of destruction. So A is suitable title. The question is what is unsuitable. So you cannot choose A. The annihilation hypothesis. The root of this word annihilation is nihil. Nihil means destroy or nothing. Okay, so you need to know this root to be able to guess the meaning. Annihilation is destruction hypothesis. So it is destruction hypothesis. The author is imagining what can destroy the world. And what is that hypothesis? Fire or ice or desire or hate will end the world. So B is also suitable title, eliminated. Emotional destruction of the world. Now emotional destruction, you need to understand what this title says. There is a destruction of the world and emotional. However, now which emotions? There are many emotions, as I have told you. Infatuation, moha is also a vikara, is an emotion, right? Krodh, anger is also an emotion. So there are various emotions. Kama, krodha, moha, maya. Illusion, maya is also an emotion. But the author is talking about only two emotions, desire and hate. See, the same logic is applicable everywhere, whether you solve a poem or passage. When something is, let's say, specific, then don't choose the option that makes general, broad. So love and desire. Okay, the passage is limited to hate and desire. Okay, hate and desire. Love is a symbol of desire again, you can say, to some extent. You love something, you want something. But emotional, this is a bit too general. So, C will not be the correct title. So, C should be the answer. Destruction by fire and ice, obviously, it is said in the passage, so it is eliminated because it is suitable title. How the world ends, yes, the paragraph discusses how the world ends or how the world can end. So this is also eliminated because it is also a suitable title. So what is not suitable among the options is C. C is the answer of this question. So this question number 2, in a way, asking you what is the main idea of the passage. And many times, remember, whenever a main idea question is asked, categorize options on the basis of what is specific and what is general. And any option which is too general should be eliminated if the given paragraph is fairly specific. Plus, if you look at C option, emotional destruction. Now here there are two emotions, desire and hate. They cause destruction. Okay, but we cannot say that the destruction is emotional. So when I say emotional movie, which means movie full of emotional, right? Emotional blackmail, which means blackmail on the basis of emotions, or so destruction of the world, which is emotional, full of emotions. So it's very vague. There can be different interpretations. So interpretations become vague. So if you look at all the options, C is the option whose interpretations are, much more, what you can say, much more vague than the remaining options. So C is the most unsuitable. See, again here the question is what is most unsuitable. So you may feel that how the world ends can also be general, but how the world ends, to some extent, it is talking about destruction of the world. Whereas if you look at C option is much more general than E, and can be vague. I can relate this E to the paragraph. Paragraph does talk about how the world ends, and in how, the author is referring to fire and desire and hate. Whereas C is very general, unclear. Therefore, C is the answer of this question number 2.